I hope you're enjoying a wonderful Lenten season and you're going to celebrate the most happy and blessed Easter. I'd like to share a recent letter that I sent to all the American bishops with a copy to our Holy Father Pope Francis. I felt good about it. One reason I got 4 responses from 4 different bishops who were very supportive, complimentary, and rather appreciative. I strongly believe we're in a very difficult time in our church. That's not just a personal opinion. It's pretty much a consensus that we need to make changes. Pope Francis says we need to have new leadership. Many other writers, scholars of the church will say the same thing, that we need more leadership from the laity, from the priests, and from our bishops. Now, I'm going to share with you briefly 5 things that I suggested to the bishops that they need to change. And first of all, I hope this will show a history of failures among our bishops and others, that it must change in order to bring back some of the 40 million fallen away Catholics. Here are those 5 changes I recommended. First of all, the extreme shortage of priests and what has happened recently makes it imperative. If we ever want a sufficient number of priests, if we want to have a good quality of priests, we have no choice but to ordain and married men. Secondly, if we believe in justice, if we look all around this country, you'll see the greatness, the leadership of so many women. We're denying our church that great potential. We must ordain women to our priesthood. As Christians, we were taught to reach out to those who suffer, those who are prejudiced against. And as we look at how we treated the members of the gay community, we must sincerely apologize for the very unchristian ways we have treated the members of our gay community. Brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, many of them have left the church because of the way their gay brother or sister, their gay son or daughter have been treated. We must apologize and correct the teaching that we have had on birth control. We must honestly make that apology that we are wrong, and we must take up the essential teaching in the document that was the Papal Birth Control Commission that states very clearly to help young couples be responsible parents, we must allow them the opportunity to use some form of artificial contraception to help them plan on when and how many children to have. Lastly, I bring to your attention what is called the internal form. This especially relates to Catholics who are married outside the church because previously they were divorced. They didn't get an annulment, which we also call the external form. The one I want to say is so important today, the internal form. It also is another word to follow your conscience. And in speaking of this subject, especially with the priests or yourselves, ask yourself, Are you now in a very happy, blessed marriage? Hopefully, yes. Have you been, if you had children, have you been good parents? And thirdly, if you were obliged to pay alimony, have you done so? If all these things are positive, you are reconciled with the Lord, you might want to come to a priest with a prayer and understanding and opportunity to understand these things better. Go and be reconciled with what they call the internal form. I hope you find these things meaningful, and I encourage you also to speak out, because these are very important matters. You need to share them with your Catholic friends, those you know who don't go to church because of a previous marriage and divorce. Contact your local bishop and perhaps request a meeting with your pastor to discuss these matters I've shared with you. It could be very beneficial to you, and I think it would be most helpful to our Catholic Church. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed, happy Easter for you, your family, and your friends. Keep me in your prayers. God bless you.